overall objective is to be the best performance development centre in the world.
We want to keep pushing ourselves to be the best team that we can be.
To be in this environment, nothing is impossible here.
They could set the standards really high, and they're definitely striving towards that.
The excitement of the investment from the RFU with the TP15s, you know, last year with all the teams getting their sort of franchises, we were slightly different. That we were the only team that didn't technically exist before this. We weren't traditionally like a Saracens or a Quins who had affiliations with their men's Premiership equivalents, or maybe historical teams like Richmond's.
Last season was a complete blank slate. I don't think anyone really knew how it was going to take off, how we were going to develop, how we were going to grow as a team, and I think it took a while for us to really find our feet. Brand new team, brand new management, brand new players, you know, learning about one another, learning about how the programme is run.
For Loughborough, like, they could set the standards there. There was no history of any expectation or anything, so they could set the standards really high, and they've set that they want to be the best women's setup in the world, and they're definitely striving towards that.
The contact time was important, but obviously in the first instance was managing that around student life for the majority of our squad.
My timetable for my studies are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. For gym sessions, I've got 2 main gym sessions, so like whole body sessions, and then fitness alongside that. At first it was quite hard because like mixing that between studies and rugby, obviously all you want to do is play rugby, but you know that your studies are really important. I knew as soon as I get my studies right that the rugby would come with it.
We had a blank canvas, so for me it was a great opportunity to actually instill some key habits in terms of the training culture, and one of the biggest parts of the game, especially from a women's perspective, was the physical side. You know, sometimes it's probably the bit that doesn't get supported as well, and for us actually getting the good habits of training programme for the S&C in particular was a big part of it.
The unique selling point about being here is being in a world-class sporting environment. We go into power base, we're training alongside the England netball team, the England cricket team. That can only have a positive effect.
Reece, our head coach, has tasked us with sort of 2 key objectives. So the first one is making sure the players are on the pitch week in, week out. And the second is to sort of raise the physical profile of the individual to meet technical and tactical demands of match play. Many of them haven't been exposed to maybe an S&C environment before, so the ability to train in a professional environment with, you know, a professional coaching team has been absolutely fantastic from this year. We're very fortunate and blessed to have players of Sarah's experience, and for me, she's probably no greater role model in the world in terms of how to be a professional athlete, and to have her working on the staff as well as a player coach is really inspirational for the players around her. But you know, her and Katie with their experience in international rugby is a huge part of the learning process. For me, having those in the squad is huge, and I think, you know, the younger players are in a really good learning environment, and they can thrive off the other players around it.
I was a little bit starstruck. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I'm training with some of the some of the best players in the world, and I feel like when you train with these athletes who are already known to it and who have done it for a long time, you actually learn a lot of things, and you learn how to become adaptable to what's around you and how to deal with certain situations.
There are very different generations, and with that brings a lot of sort of jokes along the way. You know, you've got the older people like myself who get a lot of stick for being old and might have to do a bit more prehab, and you know, you've got the youngsters who play a different type of music, and they've got a different language compared to everyone else. All sorts of different things that, you know, it just adds to that little bit of camaraderie between us, and I think you can really sense it.
As the newbie coming in, you're always going to get a little bit of stick, but as I say, I've known quite a few of the girls from previous clubs. yeah, they've been really welcoming, and just looking forward to getting out there and actually playing alongside them.
We anticipate a really tough game. You know, they're a team that show that they don't give up, and physically they're really competitive. So for us, it's no different to what we have done the last sort of 2 or 3 games, where we've got to make sure that we control the game and make sure we get that physical element on our side. And if we can do that, then we can impose ourselves well. And we've got some dangerous players who can score some points. You know, the big one for us now is after Six Nations, we play Saracens, and you know, unfortunately, the first time we played them was a clash with the international games. It'd be great to play Saracens with 2 full strong teams, and Saracens have led the way for 2 seasons and are top of the tree as well this year. So it's a game that we're targeting, and it's a home game as well, and we're unbeaten so far at home. So it's a great way for us to see where we are and get some big game mentality going into the playoffs. So two big games for us to get some momentum going into that semi-final.